We begin with the 8th Nathan Anankwal Excellence Lecturing Awards ceremony where governance expert at the University of Ghana, Dr. Daniel Appiah, is calling for stronger civil service training and the effective implementation of constitutional reforms to enhance governance and national development.
As we embrace multi-party democracy, we need to pay attention to the deep core values of democratic governance. Democracy emerged long before multi-party emerged. Democracy in Athens and Greece was there before political parties came. And the principles have not changed. The principles of equal rights of citizens to well-being, the principle of equal treatment of citizens, the principle of meritocratic recruitment into public service. So if we are really serious in building a democracy that works, I believe that just as other countries have tried to structure their public service system in such a way that they are mindful of how the emergence of multi-party democracy affected them, we can also be very mindful and structure a system of public service that will become very competent. And I'm glad that currently we have a Constitutional Review Commission or committee that is doing the work. But we hope that we will have appropriate rules. But once again, the rules will not be enough. If we do not implement the recommendation of our forefathers that we need a vibrant, more capable and strong civil service training school that will train civil servants, that will build their capacity and move them forward, we will not be able to make it.
The event themed Constitutionalism of the President's Appointment of Chief Executive Officers in the Public Services with reflections on the Presidential Transition Act 2012, Act 845, brought together public servants, academics and governance experts to reflect on ways to enhance public administration. A member of the organizing team, Nanayao Asari, explained that this year's theme was carefully selected to reflect the current state of Ghana's public service and stimulate meaningful dialogue on reforms and efficiency.
This year's theme was actually aimed at, after, you remember the May Day speech by the Executive Secretary of CLOGSAG at the Independence Square, where we had the president himself sitting down, where he addressed and made the famous Obiandi Nilemu speech. That is to wit, you know, we've seen that initially people or the heads of the bureaucratic heads of the civil service were appointed based on technocratic ability. They were technocrats that were appointed, and usually they were within the civil service ranks. But these times, you've seen that the appointment is now based on political appointments and all that. That is right. That is supposed to be done, but it's supposed to be done in consultation with some policies or some councils that have been set up to actually do that. But recently, we've seen the appointment of chief executives. We've seen the appointment of bureaucratic heads of the civil service, which should be the chief directors. We've seen them being appointed outside the civil service, and then the most important part of it is that the people that were appointed outside the civil service were politically colored. So you realize that this is creating an issue, because the civil service is supposed to be anonymous, it's supposed to be permanent. And one of the main issues arising from permanence is the fact that when one political regime ends and then another political regime comes, the person that was appointed to act as head, for instance, birth and death, will not be able to be there because he'll be changed, because he's not within the ranks, he's not from the civil service proper. You get it? So we realize that all these are creating issues and all that, and they need to be addressed. And today, thankfully, Dr. Daniel Appiah did justice to that particular topic. And we also realize that he did that, most importantly, in the presence of the Honorable Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, and also did that in the presence of someone from the presidency, that is Honorable Nana Oyebampoado. So this is what we were actually gearing for or aiming at. And I think that a lot of notes were taken, and then we realized that in the Constitutional Review Committee, it's going to be looked at.
Meanwhile, one of the awardees, Mr. Noah Tomfo, expressed appreciation for the recognition, describing it as a pleasant surprise. He pledged to continue making an impact through dedication and hard work.
It was a surprise. Although over the years since this award was instituted, I've been the chairman of the planning committee. And all the awards that have been given so far I've been at the forefront of organizing the citations and other things. But in this particular one, I started with them on the process, but I had no indication of what was going to happen. So I was called yesterday and told about it. So it's a surprise to me. But I also see it as a useful recognition. It only means that as you seek the good of others, people keep watching and are able to recognize what you do. Well, wherever I've worked, I ensure that all my colleagues are well grounded in what the regulations are. And beyond that, I also believe in seeking the welfare of others around me. So I am still in active service as a chief director. So it will only spur me on to do more and help others. The advice I'll give to other colleagues is that wherever you find yourself, strive to give off your best without thinking about the instant reward you get. In any case, there is a lot of satisfaction to be derived from helping others who are in need. It's not always monetary rewards, but so long as you're able to solve the problem of others, it gives you some satisfaction. And for me, that is the motivation. And that's what I would encourage others to do.
The Nathan Annan-Kwao Excellence Lecturing Awards continue to serve as a platform for promoting excellence, professionalism, and innovation within Ghana's public service.